Jack's figure vanished without a trace. He clung to a flicker of hope that maybe Jack would magically appear next second, whisking him away from this strange place. He waited from day to night until a staff member floated over and jokingly asked, "Are you waiting for arrival?" Daisy dug through his bag only to find it empty. His beloved shoes had become orphans in Jack's car. When Jack spotted those old shoes, he looked like he had been struck by lightning. Guilt flooded over him like he had lost an irreplaceable treasure. At that moment, Daisy realized he was abandoned, tears welling as if after a tragic novel, and walked to the desk, holding back sobs for help. Unfortunately, his SOS signal went unanswered, but just as he felt helpless, Jack appeared behind him like a hero descending from the heavens. From then on, they strolled like honeymooners, savoring sunset walks hand in hand, slowly to soak it all in. Jack occasionally gave Daisy shopping coupons to splurge at the supermarket, and never seriously complained despite Daisy's mischief. They cruised down the wide open road in an RV, feeling like stars in an upcoming road movie, stopping only when night fell. During this journey, Jack and Daisy's relationship felt like an extravagant celebration in a downpour. Until the night totally overtook the sky, Jack finally stopped the car, and Daisy started sharing a documentary-like retelling of his precious history. Since birth, his mother treated him like a pet, caged at home for TV only, a true caged bird. The only way Daisy interacted with the outside world was through the TV at home. Jack suddenly realized the real problem wasn't Daisy, but rather his prison warden of a mother. At that moment, Jack seemed to finally understand the reason behind Daisy's odd behavior. The next morning, as dawn broke, their escape journey continued, and everything felt a bit different. A touch of sweetness formed between them, with Daisy often playfully clinging to Jack like a little kitten, eager for some fun. They munched on snacks together while riding the Ferris wheel, with Daisy seemingly rediscovering his lost childhood in the amusement park. It was the happiest day of Daisy's life. Happiness tends to bring out uncontrollable laughter, and Daisy thrived in Jack's cheerful company. Jack also rediscovered the most relaxed part of humanity through Daisy, but just as they were basking in the warmth of their time, a crisis suddenly crept in. News of a cleaner kidnapping a mentally ill girl flew around, and the police began their pursuit like a brewing storm. However, the real escape was nothing like movies filled with speed and thrill. Jack crashed into quite a few roadblocks while Daisy sat in the back, continuously complaining. For Daisy, it was a widespread chase. He waved warmly at the police, and at a fork, Jack sped away, leaving the police car behind. That evening, they pulled over to rest by the roadside, and just when Jack drifted into dreamland, Daisy woke him up suddenly. Subtitles as the police officer silently arrived at the back of the van. Jack promptly hid himself in the cupboard, resembling a concealed little elf. Daisy casually opened the door and smiled at the officer. "My boyfriend runs away at the sight of me, it's true." The officer didn't buy it. He quickly ordered Daisy down and drove off in search of Jack, but thankfully, he didn't open the cupboard door. Finally, the officer trusted Daisy, ran into the woods to search for Jack, and Daisy dashed into the car, grabbing the keys. She threw the keys into the grass. Upon learning this, Jack praised her wit, far beyond a mentally ill girl's. Under the light of dawn, they pressed on, not knowing when fate would end this journey, but as long as they had each other, even in storms, happiness would always tag along. One late night, they stumbled upon a few travelers by a bonfire and, like kittens, joined their cookout. At that moment, time was tranquil and lovely. Daisy felt he found someone truly special to protect him, and Jack was subtly transforming in front of Daisy. No longer stubborn and selfish, as a fugitive, he wondered how long he could stay with Daisy, fearing being swept into a fantastical chase in a time. With debts and probation, Daisy became a worry. Jack wanted her to learn driving when the asylum director called for her immediate return. Otherwise, his life would be mired in charges. Jack reluctantly agreed to send her back, and Daisy, eavesdropping, overheard this. Fear washed over her like a tidal wave. She dreaded being locked away, losing all freedom, and even worst of all, being separated from Jack forever. Daisy panicked and bolted out the door like a rookie driver attempting to start the RV. Tears flowed as she saw Jack chasing. She broke down, making her first drive terrifying. With her spiraling emotions, the car revolved like a merry-go-round until it crashed into a shipping container and finally halted. Thankfully, unhurt due to low speed, they drove to a restaurant, where Daisy suddenly shouted, "I didn't see her until I woke up and she was dead," she reflected, recognizing that she always felt the real issue lay with others, not her. Yet, she blamed her mother's death on her own ineptitude, thinking if she'd been smarter, life would be much simpler. In the end, No one could see the struggles behind her barefoot journey, and Jack assured her he never intended to send her back to the mental hospital. "Because to me, you've become the light in my life." Just as they were savoring their special moment, the police car quietly rolled up outside. Yet neither of them noticed, as they were too busy enjoying each other's company in that fleeting moment. Just as the police approached, Jack bestowed a gentle kiss. It was the only kiss of love in his life. As a single tear slid down Daisy's cheek, the police finally arrived. Jack was apprehended for kidnapping a mentally ill girl, while Daisy was once more on her way back to the mental institution. In the final moments before separation, they locked eyes, expressing eternity through silent words. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories.